Today I'm going to show you exactly how you can create these sort of videos.
Short and sweet. This one isn't very high stakes, but somebody got less ounces. I'll tell you what, I work in a deli and a grocery store that's changed ownership lately. We're trying to go the extra mile because
This is fully automated. You just need to set it up once and you can post 30 or 90 or even 1,000 videos at once just by clicking a button and using all different stories. If it's your first time here, my name is JD, I sold my first company and now I spend my days building automation and cool AI products. Let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to my school community and you want to join. It's free for now till the end of the year. Then you want to go to the classroom and here choose the templates and find the YouTube Reddit Stories creator. And you have this file. Just download it. This will be a JSON file. And then go to your n8n and here you can click these three dots and import file and you'll get something like this. Let's take a quick view of this. The flow works the following way. First, we need to get stories from Reddit, and for that I'm going to be looking at the malicious compiled Reddit, which has funny stories. And we need the way to actually get this. Then we need Minecraft clips, we need to Voiceover, and we need to combine it all. So how does this look in n8n? So we have a section where we generate the script with the clips. So use Apify to scrape Reddit and get the title and body from the posts. Then we start iterating over these items. Then we generate the voiceover using 11 Labs. After that, we actually use our own video API to add the voiceover to the clip. Then we select the clip we want to use for the video. Then we change the aspect ratio to be 9:16, which is the mobile aspect ratio. We add the subtitles and then we choose and add the music. And finally, we upload the videos to YouTube and we clean up. This is an overview, but let's take a closer look how everything works. The first thing you want to do is get some Minecraft parkour videos. So you can just go to YouTube and search something like Minecraft parkour relaxing. And then you can just choose one of these videos, for example, this one or this one. And you need to actually click it and download it. After that, you need to remove the audio and you need to split this video into small clips. Once it's done, you should create a drive folder that looks something like this. So we have the raw video, this doesn't actually matter, it's just where I was storing my video. And then we have the clips. So each clip here was cut from the same video and it's about 3 minutes long. Here's an example. You can see it's just a pretty common video. And you should create a bunch of clips so that it's not always the same. The next thing you need to add here is the music folder. You just need to add the music, I just chose some Vivaldi. And you need to create this Minecraft _temp folder, which will be the temporary folder, this processing folder, and the final folder. So you need to sort of create this structure and all the flow will work with this. And after that, you need to create an Excel sheet like this. So it needs a title, a body, the views if you want to, and the status. Okay, so once you have this, we can actually start the flow. So the first part of our flow is actually Apify. If you don't know, Apify is just a way that you can get your data. It uses API and makes it very simple for you to actually scrape and get data from websites. And since we want to get data from this subreddit, we need to actually find on Apify something that allows us to do this. So we have this one, which is a Reddit scraper, all in one, and it's $1.50 per 1K result, so it's pretty cheap. And if you just joined, you should have $5 that you can use for free. So if I go here, you can see I have actually a scrape by URL. I just paste it here. And then if you click JSON, you actually get the JSON you need. So I just copy this and I'm actually going to run the flow. And you can see I'm going to Apify. And if I open, you see something like this. If it's your first time connecting Apify, you need to actually add the API key. And I'm going to show you how you can do this. You'll click here, you click create new credential. And then you go back to Apify. You'll click on settings, API and integrations, and then you just need to copy this and paste it on n8n. So this is how Apify knows you are the one making the request and you need to do this once. So you paste this here and you just save. You can change the name here if you want. So I'm going to quit because I already have it. And then you should be able to actually click here and choose your account if it's not selected. The operation you want to do is to run an actor. So run an actor and get dataset. Make sure you select this one. And then you can see I'm getting the actor from the recently used actors. If you want to do this because it's easier to find, you should try and run it once. For example, I go here, I click start, and this will actually run the agent. And that also gives an idea of how the results will look. So let's just give it a minute. And there we go. We have the author, we have a body, and we have some more stuff. And you can see this is just a rhetoric we're actually scraping. So you should run this once, and that allows you to then go to the recently used actors, and then you just need to find the one you just used, which in my case is this one. I just pasted, as I said here, I increased the max post to 50, and I just let it run. So this will give us 50 results that will look like this. As you can see, this is one of the results. We have a title, we have the body, we have the score, and these are pretty much the ones we're interested in. So then we have the filter. So what's this? I'm making sure that the post is neither too small or too big, because if it's too small, it won't be interesting. And if it's too big, it won't fit on a short, so I need to actually reduce this. So I found these values to be better if it's between 750 characters and 2000. So I just do a body length, which just gets the body, and calculate this one, and calculates how many chars are in there, which in this case is 4000. And we check if it's less than 2000. Since it's not, this one will be discarded. You can see here for my 50 results, I kept 22 and I discarded 28. After that, we append them to our Excel sheet. So if you don't know how to configure this, I have a video you can check about how to do it. But I just created, as I said, this Google Sheet. And I just selected the sheet by the name and the actual sheet I want to use. And then I decide to map each column manually. Since I will either append a row if it doesn't exist or update a row if it does, I need to actually tell n8n what it should look for to know if a row already exists. So in this case, I just tell it the title. So if there's already something called, in this case, hope you enjoyed your drive, which is the title, instead of creating a new row, it will just update the one that exists. If I go to my sheet, and if I scroll to see the ones that are actually added right now, we can see we have the title, we have the body, we have the views, and as you can see, when I start, the ones I just added, the status will be empty. I'm actually using this to check if there's already a post that was made with this exact story. And that's why I used the append. I fill these values, I add the title. If you don't know how to do this, you just choose expression and you just drag and drop. And you can see I have the title, then I'll have a body, and I have a score, which is the post score. And the end result will be something like this. So you can see I'm running for 22 items on this case, and then it starts iterating. So 22 items come in, and it will go one by one and do everything after one by one. Okay, so what's next step? We start by generating a voiceover. So we go to our rows, and then again use the title to get the current row. We just get a row with this title. And then we have an if, and this if has only one row, which is to check if the Reddit post we're looking at has already been published or not. So I just check the ones with the status with empty, and if the status is empty, we're going to go forward. If it's not, it means it's already processed, so you just end the loop. In this case, we can see I have 17 items. I actually already generated the story for 16, so only one went ahead. As you can see here, we have one true branch, which is this story. Next, we need to generate the voiceover. For that, we're using 11 Labs. 11 Labs is a website that allows you to create voiceovers with very realistic voices, and you'll need to sign up, so I'm just going to log in my case. And then you'll need to fill some stuff. You need to fill the text. As you can see here, I'm actually joining, I'm giving it the title. This just means I'm entering a new line, and then I'm giving it the body. And the result is something like this. This is what I'm going to send to 11 Labs to actually generate a voiceover. Then it needs a voice ID. So how can you get this? You either choose from a list, and you can choose any voice that's on the list. For example, if I click this, I now have a list of voices. Or you can add by ID, and you can just paste the voice ID. To get a voice ID, you just need to go to the voices, select, and click here, copy voice ID. If it's your first time using 11 Labs, again, you'll need to configure your API key. The way to do this is go here, click Create New Credential, you go to 11 Labs, you click Developers, API Keys, and you create a new key and copy the value. So I'm just going to do this. I'll create. I just copy this value, go back to n8n, just paste it here. After that, there are some settings. You can either copy them or ignore them. They just change a little bit of how things are. For example, I increased the speed a bit. I'm using a bit of style exaggeration, and the rest is as is. So when this node runs, you actually get a file like this, which is the output, which will be an MP3 with a voice. And then we take that and we upload it to our Google Drive. Again, if you don't know how to configure this, I have a video showing it, but it's a one-time setup. Then we want to upload the file. You can see I have the operation upload. The name is data because it's what comes from before. You can give it a name or not, doesn't matter in here. We just need to make sure we're uploading to the Minecraft temporary folder, which has this name. That's why I need to create the drive first. So after generating the voiceover, we then have the next step, which is to choose the clip. For that, we use the search function on Google Drive, and we get all the files named Minecraft. We can see all our clips are actually named Minecraft, so just get it. Then we filter. We need to filter because we are getting both the clips and the folders, so there will be things that are not clips. So we need to check if the name actually contains the MP4 extension. And as you can see, there were 3 items that did not. And we keep only the ones that have the .mp4 extension. After that, we aggregated, we just join them all in a list. And we use the sort function to randomize how this list looks. And the idea behind this is just we're going to take the first one, and by doing this random search, we can then take the first item and do be a random of them. After that, we do this edit fields. Again, we're just getting the first clip ID. And after this, we have our clip, and now we can start using our API to do stuff. So if you don't know the API, you can check the school community to see how you can install it. You can run it either on a computer for free, or you can use an run it for cheaper than you would a normal API. So our first step is to add the voiceover. For this API, we need to actually pass the video URL. As you can see, before we got the video ID, and you need to add the expression because we have the ID and not the actual URL. So just add this expression, and this allows access to the Google Drive and allows download. And then we need to give it the audio URL. The audio URL is the one we got when we uploaded the file to Drive. So in here, if I open, you can see we have this web content link, and this is what we're using for our audio. When you actually send this HTTP request, you'll get a response, but this response does not mean it's a result. It's just saying we started processing. And then it will actually start the processing. We then have to do some pooling, and what pooling is basically just asking the server, is it done yet? If not, let's wait for a bit. If it is, let's continue. So you can see that we are waiting here for 30 seconds. We then ask the server, is it done yet? And as you can see, the status is still processing and the progress is 65. And then we just use this to check if it's actually done. So is the status equals to complete? If it is, it will move forward. If it's not, it will go again back to the wait and wait another 30 seconds. So this is pooling. It's just constantly asking the server if it's done until it is done. Once this is complete, we then need to get the file. So we have this download that allows us to download the file, and just need to give it the job ID from before. And we can see the result.
Sure, I'll change the song. TLDR. Dumb complains about my music choice, so I changed it to something more metal than what was playing before.
As we can see, this is the result so far. We have the voiceover and we have the clip, but there's still a lot to go. We take this clip, we then, the same way as we did before, upload it to the Minecraft temporary folder. So just do an upload to the drive. And we go to the next step, which is to change the aspect ratio. When you're talking about shorts, we actually want it to be 9:16 and not 16:9 as it is. So it's just called the video aspect ratio. And we need to give it the URL. This is URL we just got from the previous Google Drive. And then the fill, which just means you're expanding the video to occupy the full space. Then again, we have the same pooling as before, because the server told us, okay, I've started processing. And now we need to wait, so just wait 30 seconds, we ask it, is it done yet? If it is done, we'll continue, if it is not, we'll just go back and wait another 30 seconds. So I'm going to give it a moment to actually run. Now that it's done, we get a result, let's take a look at it.
Sure, I'll change the song.
So we have the same video as before, now with the correct aspect ratio. We again save it to Google Drive to the temporary folder, and we go to next step, which is adding the subtitles. For that, we have this endpoint, which is the add subtitles. and there are a bunch of options you can change here, but what you need to do is set the URL, and if you don't want to do anything else, you can just leave them as is. We call this endpoint and you start pulling again to check if the job is done. So it's been a bit, and you can see we now have the result. Let's open. Let's view it.
Sure, I'll change the song. TLDR. Dumb complains.
And we can see we have a result with the subtitles. We then again upload it to Google Drive, and we go to the next step, which is choosing and adding music. In this case, since I only have one music, just adding the music. And we have add music request. And for that we need to give it the video URL and the music URL, which in this case is just the URL from my Google Drive. Then we need to give it some more parameters, which is if it's going to loop the music, which is as true, and the volume, which in this case is 0.1, which is 10% of the actual volume of the music, because you don't want the music to be so loud that you can't hear it. So we make this request, and we again start the familiar polling strategy. So we just wait, check if it's done. If it is, we continue. If it's not, we wait again for a bit. We can see it's finished, so let's open and see the result.
Sure, I'll change the song. TLDR. Dumb bitch complains about my music choice, so I changed it to something more metal than what was playing before. This was a couple of years ago when I was in military school. It was a second program from the original, so it was more like Job Corps with a military theme. Because it was less strict, we were allowed to have our phones, and there were no adults in the barracks with us. Since it was the second part of the class, there were significantly less students then, during the first half. So there was just 3 of us, me, DB, and my friend. This has to do with DB. No one actually liked DB. She was entitled and overall rude. Snitched on a bunch of girls for sneaking in boys in the middle of the night to f while she was doing the same. She even got another girl jumped, making people think she was the snitch when she wasn't. She was the reason there were significantly less people in the class. Pretty sure the only reason she didn't get kicked out was because she snitched. She also broke one of the TVs in the co-ed lounge trying to throw a pool ball at her BF. So for the entire class, we couldn't go in there or interact with the boys outside of class. Anyways, on to the story. I was in the barracks with my phone connected to the TV to play music while I drew. My friend was already in there, but DB was somewhere else. My friend and I have similar taste in music, so we were both chilling. I was playing some Tool. Nothing too heavy, but still my taste of music. At some point she walks in, and a few minutes later, I hear DB ask me what was playing, and to change it, because it was weird. I said, sure. I changed it to Memento Mori by Lamb of God. Her face when the last wake up turned into the most metal scream she has probably ever heard in her life was amazing.
So this is finished. We have the music, the subtitles, the correct aspect ratio, and it randomly chose a clip. Then we upload this to Google Drive. And the last step is to actually schedule and upload to YouTube. For this I'm using Potato, which is a website that allows you to post easily to your social media. To set it up, all you need to do is create an account, go to the settings and log in with your YouTube account. Then you should go to the calendar and you should select how you want to schedule your posts. So if I click the wiki schedule, we can see you have an option to add slot. And when you add a slot, you select the days and you also select the accounts you want. So for example, the account where I'm posting this will be this one. So you can see I have videos at 2 AM, 10 AM and 6 PM, and I post every day of the week. What this does is now we can go here, use the Potato module. So if you don't have it, you can just click Potato. Once you click, it will ask you if you want to install it. Once you do, you need to do the upload Potato. So you just need to call it like this. You set your sources media, the operations upload, and you pass Google Drive link we just got from the previous step. If it's your first time using Potato, the same steps as before apply. You need to click here, add a new credential, and then you need to go to Potato. You need to click Settings, API, and then copy your API key and just paste it here and save. After this, we'll start uploading to YouTube. And the way this works is you choose what you want to do. In this case, I want to create to YouTube. You choose the correct YouTube account. If you just added one, it will be just one. You choose a title. In this case, the title will be the title from the post. You then have to give it the URL, which is the URL we just got from the previous step. So you can see we are getting this from the previous step. Then you need to check this, schedule next free slot, so it will place it on the next free slot that's available. And then you need to give the video a title, which in this case is just that. Lastly, if you want them to be immediately public, just make sure you click and post public. Once you do this, if you now go to Potato, to your calendar, you should see the posts that are scheduled. For example, I have a bunch of posts here that are scheduled for next days. With all this done, we update the row, so I just update the row to say it's been published, so that way if our scraper gets the same story as before, it won't upload two stories that are the same. And then we do a simple cleanup that just cleans up everything on our API. So this is it. This is how you can create clips with one click and create as many clips as you want. The costs are very low for this type of videos. You have the API costs, the 11 lab, which will be the higher costs, and then the Potato costs, but that's pretty much it. I hope this is helpful. I'm going to post on the channel for 30 days and then I'll show the results, a brand new channel, so you'll see how it goes. And I hope this is interesting. If you find this interesting, make sure to join my school community, which will be free until the end of the year. Thanks for watching and see you soon.